welcome back to Abstract Medicine. I do hope you're all doing well. Happy Easter. I'm just to let you know that I have some more readings on my playlists, Alchemy, Art, Transformation. I also have picker piles, love predictions, and so much more. So I felt called to do a picker pile today, and it's about love. And let's see what's next in love for you. So don't overthink it before you select your pile. Just maybe take a deep breath in. Let's do that now. And deep breath out. Just know this is a general reading. This is not a direct private reading. If you like a private session with me, you can go ahead and check out my website. It's all things art, because I'm an artist. For those of you who are new to this channel, I am Cristallina Fischetti. I'm British-Italian with Colombian lineage. And I am about to have a show, actually, an exhibition coming up very soon in London. And then I have one in September. So for those of you who are on the journey here with me on Abstract Medicine, you're the first people to know before I actually share it with the world. So very excited, also in London town. And it's all based on alchemy. It's called Alchemy. And you can go ahead onto the footer page of my website where you can see mysticism, abstract medicine, and there you have all the choices for bookings, shamanic healing sessions, tarot, all the things. So with that being said, let's have a look at what it is that what's to be expected in your love life. Okay, this is going to be pile 1. Already I'm feeling pile 1 could actually feed into pile 2, so there could be some messages in pile 2 for pile 1, and that's pile 3. There's just 3 piles today. All right, 3 piles. I also want to let you know that it might be a good idea for you before you even think about committing to a private reading with me, although I am 98% accurate in my readings. Testimonials, thank you to those who have booked. You know who you are, and you keep coming back for some more information, of course, and some more guidance. Thank you. You might want to just go to any playlist and just click, press shuffle, and then just see what comes up. There will be messages there for you that will resonate for you, even though all of my readings are completely timeless. It doesn't matter when I post and upload them. So this is going to be pile 1. Let's have a look at pile 1 for what's next in love for you. Alignment. We have an eagle here and number 4. These colours could also be of resonance for you, my loves. This could be something that you might feel like, yeah, this is my pile. Okay. Pile 2. We have self-reliance. We have, it looks like a hawk there. Yeah, it's kind of like a falcon or a hawk. I've got dogs around me, so you might be hearing some funny noises. The colours over here could also be connected. We also have a 4 and a 0, so 40 here. Could be your age. This could be like, yeah, this is definitely my pile. You know, I remember how I said that pile 1 could feed into pile 2. We have similar animals here. And pile 3, what's next in love for you? We have ancient wisdom, and we have number 5. So we have these colours here, ancient wisdom. A and W could be significant for you. We have a lily. This could be like, yeah, definitely pile 3 is my pile. So if you want, take a moment to meditate. If you want, you can also check out the timestamps down below, and you can just go to your pile. Or if you're finding it really difficult to pick your pile, just go to a number generator between 1 and 5 and see if it's 1 or 2 or 3. That's the reading for you. Or you can listen to all of them and then just, you know, see what resonates for you the most. Remember, this is a general reading, so this is not a private, direct session with you. All right. Okay, we're going to start with pile 1 in a few seconds. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Right. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with pile 1. Okay, so pile 1, for those of you who chose this beautiful card, alignment, what's next in love for you is alignment. Now, the first thing that I see is this empty space here, and I feel like you're opening up your heart chakra with the color green, which is the spiritual color of the pure heart. And I feel like, yes, you've been doing lots of healing and you're seeing something from a higher perspective, a higher vantage point, collective. Pile 1, we have this eagle here that's soaring above. I'm seeing you are in leadership, you're very independent, you have an eagle eye view of things. You have like a way of seeing the world that is you have great perspective. Again, I said high vantage point. So I feel like you're seeing the long-term picture in something. So you don't want just a one-night stand or a short-term pleasurable event experience with someone or many people. You want something that's stable here with number 4 in numerology is about stability and strong foundations. This could also be, you really feeling nestled and supported by your own home and your own stability, and now you want to share that with someone else. I feel like you carry masculine energy with you, so you mainly are possibly feminines. Now I know in my statistics here on Abstract Medicine on the YouTube channel, but also in my private readings, I do a lot of readings, tarot readings, astrology readings, as well as shamanic healing sessions for women mainly. But you could be a man and you have a predominance masculine energy. But I feel like here, you are feminines, you're women mainly, but you carry this masculine energy maybe in your work that really helps you. Now I am seeing this big shape here. Now for those of you who are interested in art therapy or just wanting to learn or just have fun in art class once every last Sunday of the month, I carry this sketchbook club session, and it's through Zoom, and it's a lot of fun. It's about an hour and a half long. We have amazing students from all over the world, different accents, different perspectives. We're talking about perspectives. And we have fun creating a sketchbook club, which is based on, usual tools that you would find in art class, but it's based on therapy, it's based on manifestations, focus, meditation, and release and surrender, enjoyment, and connecting and making friends, essentially. So this could be you maybe having created like a collage even in Sketchbook Club on Abstract Medicine, or something that involves 2 cutouts to make a whole, but with that whole you're finding expansion. Now this could also be metaphorical, where you are understanding something about having healed the heart space here, and you've created a really wonderful firm foundation in your heart space, and now you're ready for love. So that's beautiful channeling. Let's have a look at the tarot here for pile 1, please, Spirit, Angels, Ancestors, Guide. Let's have a look at what's next in love for pile 1, please, using the tarot. Sorry, one moment. Let me just arrange it a little bit. There you go. One more, okay. Now you could be like a bit like myself. Like yesterday, I found it difficult to sleep. Actually, this whole week during this Easter period, this Easter portal, my sleep patterns have been quite interesting. I've been deep in REM sleep, so that's restorative for the body, mind and soul. But my dreams have been very vivid, and I've been astral traveling a lot. So you may have been experiencing that too. And it's part of your alignment. I do feel like, because you have a higher vantage point, I feel like I'm picking up on people who may have heavy air sign energy, Libra, particularly strong Gemini coming through, or even Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. But I'm picking up on mainly that you have seen something from the observer point of view, the oversoul, your higher self, where it's almost like you've seen parts of your future. So I'm picking up on high priestesses. I'm picking up on people who are very spiritually connected. The eagle is also very strongly connected with the sun. So the sun is a healer, the sun is powerful, the sun is masculine energy, the sun is God, the sun is from which everything is created. But with that, you put water in there, sun and water, fire and water, and you can create a being, So I feel like for some of you, you are actually ready for starting a family, for some of you, however which way that looks like. And number 4 is Aries energy. It's the Emperor. So I feel like you are aligning, and you're also drawing in, you're calling in a divine masculine. You're calling in a divine masculine in your life, or you're calling in your divine true love. And maybe it's because you've integrated those two parts of yourself, where you've integrated the masculine energy of yourself and the feminine energy in yourself, and you've integrated that, so now you are in alignment and ready to attract your main person in your life. You may have also conducted my not necessarily soul retrieval, but you may have conducted my calling in your soulmate ritual, which I have on the YouTube channel under Art, Alchemy and Transformation playlist. So you may wish to have a listen to that too, in order to conduct the ritual yourself while watching the video. So let's have a look. We have the Four of Cups. Okay, so there's been disappointment, there's been upset, there's also been boredom in your previous relationships. You're kind of you're not necessarily satisfied with what you have been presented by the opposite sex or same-sex partnership, however which way you swing. But there's something about you being kind of unbothered by, no one's really risen to the standard that you are. No one's risen to your level, energetically, spiritually, intellectually, creatively, mentally, physically. It's been very meh. It's been very meh energy. The Three of Cups here that you can see is 3 relationships that have been meh. 3 significant relationships, I would say, that were maybe starting off as friendships that were kind of meh. Just very boring, very mid, very vanilla. We do have a 4th cup that is coming through with the aid of God here. Now, with this hand that's being presented with the cup, that would be an Ace of Cups. That would be the Ace of Cups energy, right? So we've got 3 cups, but we have the Ace of Cups coming through. So there is actually a new love coming in for you. We also have a number 4 again. So we have and 4. So we have an energy of 444. This message resonates for you, or you're wanting this, then put it down in the comments, 444. I see that when you least expect it, a new chapter in love is coming in. When you least expect it, you may meet someone through friends. You may meet someone through a networking party or an event, or somewhere where you just maybe even are kind of bored. You're not looking for someone, although you are energetically, spiritually, physically, mentally, intellectually, creatively ready. You are not someone who's doing the dating apps and consciously pursuing something. If anything, you're in alignment, which means you're not pursuing and you're not necessarily attractive. You're attracting, you are attractive, but you're not pursuing or attracting. You're right in the vortex and in the middle of that, which is actually the perfect, I'm hearing zenith. You're at the zenith point. So I do see there is a new love coming in for you, my loves. Pile 1, we have number 7, 7 of Pentacles. You've been working hard, you've been mainly focusing on your bag, you've been focusing on your paper, you've been focusing on your money, you've been focusing on your stability, your finances, your success. And your hard work is going to be paying dividends, I'm hearing, where you'll be able to distribute that wealth into paying your bills. You'll be able to distribute that wealth by helping and supporting your family and friends, and your commitments, your work, putting that money back into investment. I'm seeing that you are pretty much done at work. You're taking a break, mainly around this Easter time. It doesn't matter whether you're Christian or not. This is not about a religious, if you're here on my channel, this is not, I'm not, one world religions is not my thing, and so this is about unity consciousness. In 2026, we're about unity consciousness, okay? We're not about dividing, and, this is about respecting other people's beliefs, but also supporting faith, if anything, with a unity conscious mindset. So during this holiday, this Easter break, there is this energy of you taking a break from your projects, your work commitments. And I see you've been working hard and you're waiting on something. You've been waiting patiently for a project, a goal, a business endeavor, a pitch even, to come out with great financial success. But not just financial success, it's an elevation into the next level. So this could be you having worked towards something, and maybe 7 things, 7 projects, 7 goals, 7 experiences, 7 events at work or in your career, and you've been doing very well at it. You may have been entering competitions, or you may have been entering entering university, or you've been doing submissions and proposals. That's all been very good for your analysis. It's been very good for your organizational skills. It's been very good for you staying focused and away from worrying about love. And I see that in terms of your career, though this is a love reading, I just want to say that there's an energy of surrender and release of control, and by that, Spirit will be able to orchestrate supporting you in your favor so that you actually get those gigs, you get those roles, you get those proposal submissions accepted. So currently right now you're in a phase of cradling, being held by Spirit, and in a phase of pause. Okay? We have the moon. So remember how I spoke about you maybe having your dreams being very vivid, and you've been astral traveling. This is the subconscious mind here, the subconscious energy with the moon. Very important, significant shift here with the major arcana. So we have deception or delays. So there may be delays right now with your you seeing the fruits of your labor, but actually it's divinely guided. Okay. Maybe you've been fearful if you've not been able to get that job or that gig or that proposal or that submission accepted. But this is a time to release control. You may be feeling actually quite emotional deep down. I feel like there are emotions lying under the surface where you're needing to express yourself emotionally about something. Now, this could be you needing to express yourself creatively. This could be you maybe even deceiving yourself that you are fully complete with the emotional pain and turmoil, maybe from your past. Your dreams are trying to tell you something, I would say, collective, for pile 1. There's also the energy of judgment. I feel like you're quite hard on yourselves, pile 1. You judge yourselves quite harshly. I'm picking up on Capricorn energy now. And I feel like you are very ambitious people. You're high flyers, you're go-getters, and you are a notch above the rest. You're very high achieving people. And this is all connected to what you have attracted in love, where you have been with people who may not have matched your energy, but there's underlyingly insecurity about you not ever experiencing that kind of partnership, and you will, but you've had to take some time out from romantic meetups or having relationships so that you can actually heal that wound within your heart space to say, okay, actually, I'm ready for love because I'm worthy of it, and that thing from my childhood where I've experienced abandonment is not something that I'm going to reiterate again, and it's not actually part of my story anymore. It's not something that I have created. It's something that I have believed was part of me, and it's an experience that I've had, but it's not necessarily my karma to hold. It's someone else's karma to hold. This could be your parents having separated or divorced. This could be your father or your mother abandoning you, or a sibling at a time where you really needed them the most and it was very painful. And I'm seeing that here with the moon card right at the middle of your reading. So I see that you've dealt with real trauma. Now that I'm tapping further into your energy, pole 1, you've dealt with real pain. You've dealt with really hard experiences that have taken there's a nick. So that's kind of a cut in your heart space that has been very painful. And so therefore you've judged yourself really harshly because you thought by being perfectionist, now I'm picking up on perfectionism as well, and being better and being a high achiever and being a goal getter and working really hard was your way of experiencing love, because that's how you've experienced love as a child. By you calling for attention and working hard, you were praised, and you were praised for it. You were loved for it. There was an energy exchange for it. And so you learned from that negative pattern that that's how you receive love and accept love and experience love, and that's not the case. That's conditional love. So this Cancer energy, this is also Pisces energy too. So I do feel, again, there's a High Priestess energy where you are predicting something in your subconscious mind, whereby the dream space is telling you that you've actually conquered your fear, if anything, but there's something still that you feel is still part of you, and it's not. It's in the past. So pole one, this past pain is no longer going to be brought forward in your future, because you've actually healed from that fully. So I think that what I'm picking up on is that you feel there's a minor worry or concern that major trauma is going to be experienced again. It's going to be reiterated again. It's going to be repeated again, and it's not. And that's because you're being very wary and self-protective. But I do still see that you are whole and ready, and you're at the zenith point where you're not chasing, you're not even attracting love, you're just in the point of, I'm ready, I'm steady, I'm stable, and should it come, it should be in alignment. You know, should the right person meet me, it should be at the zenith point, meeting me halfway. Okay, lovely channeling. We have the 10 of Wands. So your past relationships have been a real bane in your life. You know, they've been really burdensome. I wouldn't be surprised if you've been carrying most of the weight in the relationship because of, again, your high achieving goals, your commitment, your focus on being better, doing better, having greater. And I do see that you're wanting a power couple dynamic, because you are already a powerful person, pile one. You're a very revered, respected leader in your community and or even in your industry. And so with that energy, there has to be a like for like match. If the Emperor is here, even in your auric field, energetically, in your dream space, they're calling you in as well, in your dream space, then the match to the Emperor is the Empress. So you could be you could be an Empress that is attracting an Emperor. I feel like there's one last thing you need to do on the journey, and I feel like it's about letting go of your past. Again, this is about letting go of your past, letting go of something that truly is just not part of your future anymore, someone else's karma, and most likely it's down to your parents. It's not for you to fix their karma. They have to fix their karma themselves. You can't carry other person's burdens, other people's lessons. They have to learn their own lessons. So maybe it's about, okay, you've been abandoned by your parents. Well, maybe what happens if you abandon your parents, and see how that taste of their own medicine is dealt to them in kind, as a way to reflect back to them what you have experienced, not because of spite, not because of malice, but because of, you know, you're learning how to be sovereign. You're learning how to heal that negative pattern of you're not worthy. So you're currently at a time of being single, being in solitude, looking into esoteric texts, you know, maybe soul searching in a big way. This is a time needed where you've got to be alone. This is about you maybe doing a vow of chastity, which came up in the previous reading. So I see that here with Virgo energy and Mercury energy here. Remember how I said air signs, Mercury rules Gemini as well as Virgo. You're intellectually trying, there's something here, I just want to say, you're intellectually, logically trying to understand something that can't be answered through logic. It has to be answered through the spirit. It has to be answered through spiritual work, spiritual analysis of anything, spiritual understanding and appreciation. So this is about being in solitude, being quiet with your own thoughts, being quiet in your meditation practices, being quiet in quiet and away from the noise. Maybe this is about you taking a break from city life. Maybe this is about you removing yourself from people, family, friends, your work commitments at this time, so that you can just center on yourself and your own personal alignment. So most likely you are very much single at this time. So I want to have a look at the next cards. So we have anger. So you've been healing and alchemizing anger, okay, and resentment from your past relationships. You no longer accept flattery as something that is genuine, because you have high value and you know exactly what you deserve, you know. So we have angry woman, we have hope. So you're hopeful, Aquarius energy here with the star card. And we have a lot of money. Let's get one more card or two. Yeah, we have casa di campagna, so we have country house. So some of you may live in the country, like me. All right. We have, oh look, we have a dark-haired man. That's beautiful. We have casa di città. Okay, how am I going to put all of these cards? Oh, here, okay. And we have impedimenti. So what this is telling me is that you're at the center, you're in your center stage here with the star card, the hope card, la speranza is, or esperanza in Spanish, is the star card. So you are drawing a lot of people's attention, good, bad, or ugly. There are people around you who are resentful of you, man, female, or other. They're resentful, they're angry with you because you are really bathing and basking in your own starlight. And people who don't do their own reflection of their own shadow work, because guess what? You know how the star is. The star is born, but the star dies over and over again and is reborn over and over again. But the star is in darkness. So you've got to be so comfortable with the dark in order to just be. And you're at this point right now, Pearl One, where you are being in your truest essence. And that's authentic, that's stunning, that's wonderful, that's resplendent, but it's also very triggering for other people. And who cares if it's triggering for other people? It's not your fault that you're shining a light and other people are resentful of it. That's on them. So let them be angry as you just focus on your future. Remember, we spoke about you focusing on your future as your present moment, but also your future endeavors are going to be repaid or paid for. I do see that in terms of love, because this is a love reading, I do see that this is a message about your wishes are going to be granted in a big way. And because you are there's the dog here just having some water, by the way, if you can hear that. Yeah, you're going to be quenched in a really good way. And I think that there is a ship coming in for you. Someone from overseas, someone from afar is going to be a wish come true. And most likely this involves your work. This involves you meeting someone who is not a flatterer. You know, they're not someone who just flatters you for attention or to get in bed with you. They don't hold anger or resentment if you say no, because they respect your boundaries. You know, this is someone who has a lot of money, you know, has financial success and wealth and stability, and they've made a name for themselves. They themselves are also very well known or at a very high level and very sought after, very attractive. You know, they are real game changers and game players, and they are the emperor. Okay, so one moment, let me just let the dog out. Buddy. And so that's what I'm seeing here, Pearl One, is that you are attracting someone who is your wish fulfillment. Now, the counterpart to the star, Aquarius, is Leo. So this person could have very prominent Leo in their chart. We had air energy here, which is, and also fire energy here, because the eagle is ruled by the sun, and the sun is Leo, and Leo is a fire sign. So we had air energy here, Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. So the opposites of Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra are Sagittarius, Leo, and what's the opposite of Libra? I always forget that one. I don't know. The opposite of Libra. Wait, I need to check because it's going to really bother me. So let me just see if I can check what that is. Okay, so Libra, opposite sign. It's always a really weird one, isn't it? Like Cancer or something. I don't know why, I just blank out sometimes with my astrology. Hang on a second. Sadie, come on. Come. Okay. Got to let them in. They've had their nice long walk, but they end up barking and all three of them go out. So the opposite of Libra is Aries, okay? So again, fire signs. So we have full fire sign opposites here. So let me just zoom out, there you go. So that's what I'm seeing here, Pal. One is that you're attracting someone who is a strong, prominent fire sign. And they are very passionate, they are very fiery, they are philosophical, they are spontaneous, they love to travel. They are very well loved. They bring about a lot of warmth. They are leaders. They are emperors by nature. They are, by default, number one energy in numerology. And I see that some of you could be living in the countryside, or you may want to live in the countryside, or this person lives in the countryside. Or you live in the countryside and you want to both live with each other in the countryside. But I also feel like for some of you, this person could have a place in the city and you have a place in the country. Okay, so we have countryside here, casa di campo or casa di campagna. We have a dark-haired man or un giovane bruno or un joven moreno. This person is coming in really quickly in your life, by the way, Pal 1. So in terms of love, I see that, if anything, you'll be meeting this person in the city. And this person, there may have been some delays in you meeting them. So maybe, for example, you didn't attend an event in La Casa de Ciudad or in Ciudad, in La Città, in the city. And so there was a delay in that meeting. I feel very strongly there was some sort of serendipitous event, but it didn't take place. But it will take place by Scorpio season with number 13, which is October time. So before October, I feel very strongly you're going to meet someone who is going to match your energy, romantically speaking. Now, this person is a dark brown haired man. A dark-haired man, fairly athletic, I would say, quite slim, just your type. I feel like that they carry an energy of being very suave. So they're sort of like, just perched right by their chair there. And, they're also contemplating, oh, okay. They spot you and they're standing up most likely, maybe by the bar or maybe by a chair, and they're very suave. They're very charming, they're very suave, and their demeanor is very elegant as well. I feel like they may have been given a lot of responsibility from their youth as a young male. So this is most likely someone who's taken over the family business, or someone who deals with investment, finances, or even property or estates. I see that, sorry, the dogs are making funny noises, just ignore them. You most likely deal with women who have a lot of resentment and hatred and envy, jealousy towards you. This person, instead, because you are a bright light, this person instead has dealt with pain, dealing with their responsibilities from a young age. most likely a toxic masculine who no longer is in their life. So this is probably someone who could be a father who, they themselves have also experienced abandonment issues where their father was not in their life as a teenager at the most important time in their lives. Or maybe they went to boarding school where they didn't have their parents around, obviously, because they're boarding. So I see here that pile 1, you could be dealing with someone who has also experienced disappointments in their relationships, and they're also currently single. Okay. I'm trying to figure out which other cards to take. This person could be a little bit older than you. They're 47 possibly, or they may be someone who I feel like is very well dressed. Someone who has built a life for themselves where they may also have a dog here. They may have wanted to have this relationship or family as a foundation, but they were sort of disappointed within the relationship. So this relationship, their significant person never made it through the gates, I'm hearing. So a few or one person came very close to that energy with the 2 of Cups, the 2 hearts there, and the gates here, and the couple here. But it didn't come close to the match that you'll be having with them. I feel like this person is a real gent, if they're a man. They have a lot of chivalry. Stop it. Sorry about that. And I do see that even if they are a woman, they're very chivalric themselves. They're very respectful. They have a lot of good etiquette. And I see that this person has a really soft side to them, especially with the dog who's like pining for attention, I feel like this person has had to learn forgiveness. You may have learned forgiveness as well, and have had compassion for your own emotional heart space. With the Cancer energy that came through with the Moon card, I feel like there's a synastry here between your Cancer or your mother. There's a maternal wound here because the Moon deals with the mother in astrology. You may have your mother may have been a Cancer sign, or even a Cancer survivor, I'm hearing. Or, they may have Venus in Cancer or something, or you may have some sort of Cancer chart or sign in your chart. I don't know. But again, this is not a private reading. If this resonates so far for you, please do put 444 in the, when I say far, we're coming to the end of the reading, 444 in the comment section below, and maybe consider tipping me for this reading, because it is quite an in-depth reading. You may also want to listen to pile 2 and pile 3. But overall, I feel like, yes, there is, what's next in love for you is someone who's coming in pretty quickly after a delay. And this delay was divinely guided so that you could clean up something, heal something from your own heart space in your life, and actually recognize your worth and start to see yourself as a resplendent person. A star is being born. A star was born within you. A star was you always, I'm hearing from Spirit. And I see that you're meeting someone at a time where you may have been financially at a loss, or financially burdened, and you've been working, and there hasn't been any fruits to your labor just yet. But you're just on the precipice of a great change, I'm hearing. And I do see that you meet someone at work or at an event, a function, a networking party, I'm hearing, or a small gathering of people who, say, for example, you're an artist. This could be a patron or potential patron, You meet someone who puts an investment in you and your work, or you meet someone at a time where you're just getting your business up and running fully again, fully functional after a while of it being stagnant financially. So this person is definitely ready. The question is, are you ready, collective? Because this is a great love, okay? You have waited for something better, and this something better is just around the corner from you, I'm hearing. There you go, there's something better. Yeah, you've let go of people from your life because you knew you deserved better and that there was something better out there. And you're right to follow that nudge and that hunch. So within the next few weeks, you're going to be meeting someone, look, and in the near future. You're going to be meeting your one in the next few weeks. I would say by, and it's going to be perfect timing, by October this year, or whenever you're tuning into this reading, by October or October. So between now it's April, the time of this reading is April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Within 6 months, whenever you're tuning into this reading, within 6 months, say for example, you tune into this reading in September, within 6 months, you'll be meeting this person, within 6 months. And it will be the perfect timing, and you'll understand why it was the perfect timing. That's what I'm getting for you, Pole 1. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Again, put 444 down in the comments. Tune into Pole 2 and Pole 3 if you feel called to, if you're wanting to go deeper and more specific in your love situation or question. You may wish to book a direct reading with me. I do feel like a lot of you are single, so this may not necessarily pertain to someone who's already in a relationship or romantically entangled. But I see that your dreams are very much coming true, and this person is most definitely part of your soul family. I'm wishing you well. Lots of love. Bye for now. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Abstract Medicine, Pile 2. This is going to be your specific reading. What's next in love for you? And I do feel, just having a moment with your energy, I feel like you've had to be very self-reliant, Pile 2. Hang on one moment. Just trying to gauge if the dogs wanted to come back in, and they didn't. So I feel like for you, Pole 2, you've given someone maybe a second chance in love, but they didn't take it, Pole 2. And so when you were ready, when you were ready to be in a relationship, this person didn't take the chance. And then when you were ready to move on and you had moved on, this person wanted you back. So there's kind of an energy of weird codependence here, emotional, how do you say, anxious attachment style, or maybe emotional avoidance in the relationship. So I don't feel, and I feel like overall, this really can cut you up in a very painful way, Pole 2, where you may have had to just be on your own, or you felt alone even in the relationship, which is one of the worst feelings to have. So I do see that you have actually dealt with a real wound here within that relationship. The last person that you were with really cut you up in a really, really bad way emotionally. I'm picking that up. I'm picking up on that really strongly, Pole 2. Now, the Hawk, I feel like you have experienced abandonment issues in every single relationship you've been in. This is, again, remember how I said Pile 1 may have connections with Pile 2, and this is similar energy. But I do feel like now that I'm going to move into more depth in your reading, I feel like there's going to be different messages, okay? So just bear in mind, Pile 2, that this is a general collective reading. This is not a private, direct, booked session with you. So this will not fully be of resonance, okay? But most likely there'll be very similar messages that feel very familiar to you. So I do feel like in your relationships you've had misalignment, you've had misdirection, you've been led astray in relationships. You know, I'm seeing this hawk or this bird kind of drenched in water or even petroleum. You know, it's like you've been tortured, you've been hurt, abused, and you've had to be really self-reliant. If anything, you've had to be hyper vigilant, hyper independent, I'm hearing from Spirit. Let's get one more card. You've been led astray. You were sold a story, you were sold an image, you were sold a vision, you were even sold a dream in your past relationship or past relationships. But then you realized in your own wisdom, in your own solitude, after the relationship breakdowns, after you had to reluctantly move forward because there was something amiss and remiss here, it was difficult for you to move on. You realized that all that glitters is not gold. And you started to burst through that cloud of confusion. We've got dogs, by the way, so dogs are making funny sounds. But even through that, you've also, interestingly, had improvements in your money and your career. So that's kind of a cool game changer. So Pole 2, the colour yellow is a colour that you've been working on mainly as your solar chakra. So you've been working on your own self-confidence as well. The High Priestess, an interesting card to start with this reading. The High Priestess seldom comes through in tarot. And when she does, she's bringing out a very important message of going inwards and following your intuition and you having higher knowledge spiritually. So this is the highest card in the tarot deck. Very grateful, very powerful, good or bad, secrets to be revealed. So this sometimes comes up when there has been a betrayal in a relationship, usually identified as adultery. You may have been that third person in a relationship where you were treated not as a priority. Pile 2. Now, you may be age 40 and you may have experienced a lifetime already where you have gained wisdom now. You've gained inner knowledge, spiritual insight, and now this is a time to actually physicalize them. So right now, in terms of your romantic relationships, I feel like it's pretty slow. If anything, you may have just cut out someone out in your life that was, you know, a breakup, and it's just the more it goes on, the more painful it is. And the more you bleed yourself dry. Very strong Pisces here, Cancer energy as well. I do see that you are at a time and at an age where you are feeling pressurized, but also wanting to actually have children, become a mum. So you're starting to realize that you don't want to have that on your own because of your self-reliance. You know that you could do it. You actually want to open up yourself, trust someone, open up trust in a relationship so that you could navigate the role of parenthood with another person. What you are thinking about, energetically tuning into, is actually the yang to your yin. Most likely in this case, a lot of you are females here or carry the feminine energy as a predominance in your way of being. So most likely you're wanting You've come to a very recent understanding, I would say within the last 2 months or even during February, Pisces season. Remember that all of my readings are timeless, so you may tune into this reading in November. So there was something around Pisces season or the full moon or new moon in Pisces that started to really shift something in your understanding in a big way, because it was a pivotal shift that you actually don't want to have children on your own, not because you know that you can do it on your own, but it's also because you know you can do it on your own. You've done so much on your own, Pole 2. And so you're realizing in order to have a mutually beneficial relationship, a mutual, loving, harmonious relationship where you both have the privilege of being parents, you are actually allowing yourself to open up your secrets, open up your doors, open up your heart space in a way that is so holy and sacred and vulnerable, that is so beyond your comfortability. Pole 2. And you have navigated the idea of maybe being chaste forever. So having a vow of chastity, this is the Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin energy, someone who is the virgin, becoming pure, like purifying yourself in so many different ways, but mainly by not having physical interactions, intimate relationships with people, with others. I feel like the Divine Mother is really working with you and through you at this time. So you've been navigating actually, like, maybe I should become a priest. Maybe I should actually fully integrate myself as the priestess, as the high priestess, and dedicate my life to spiritual acts, spirituality. Maybe I should just be a Kundalini yogini, with the white turbans, the white headdresses, or maybe I should just be a nun, maybe I should just go on quiet ashram retreats in India for months and months on end. You've had this very strong calling, Pole 2, to be in service to God, but in your own terms, in your own way, where it's been silent. You've been in solitude, Pole 2. You've been away from the world. You've been away from digital media. You've been away from social media for some of you as well. And you've been doing this in secret. You've been doing this in silence, and most likely alone, Pole 2, which is fine. I'm not shading you. Okay, so this resonates so far. Please put 22 in the comments down below. Most likely you are seeing 222 or 22, because Spirit is actually showing you something about your self-reliance is very admirable on the outside of things from other people perspective, from that human logical perspective, from that human physical even respect. But God knows that this is part of you holding on to your control, because everything around you has been so chaotic in your life, or even growing up, or in your relationships, that you've allowed yourself to be beaten up over and over again. I'm really sorry if this is actually something you've experienced in real life physically, but even emotional pugilation is enough to send anyone into a spiral of negative mental health patterns. So I see here, Pole 2, that what Spirit is actually asking you, especially now that you've understood it with the Ace of Swords, which is a clarity and aha moment, is that you are someone who understands that you actually get to release control, because it's actually based on you fearing, trusting yourself and trusting God ultimately, and trusting another. So you're now being in full service to God and your faith, whereby you're surrendering into what will be will be. It's not even a prayer of this or something better. It's, God, put me in alignment with my truest path, with the right person, should they appear in this lifetime. And it's full surrender and acceptance in that. And that's the moment where you've actually pivotally shifted your timeline, Pile 2, which is wonderful. It's wonderful to tap into. So I know that there's been frustrations. I know that there's been a hollow victory, because this victory has been felt intuitively. This victory has been felt with a clearer mind, with clearer insight. But that's all very singular. That's very inward. No one else has experienced that shift from you objectively. You have. And so you're no longer getting your validation from the outside. You're no longer in codependent relationships or wanting to be in codependent relationships, because you are now releasing control and you're surrendering into trusting spirit. You're trusting God, which is so beautiful. That's such a devotional act in itself. And seldom do people recognize that unless they themselves have experienced it and done that work. To know that you don't need someone, to know that you don't need to be with someone in order to feel that unconditional eternal love is beyond words that I can't even express here on this channel. So if anything, I want to say is well done, Pile 2. So put 22 in the comments there if this resonates for you. If you'd like a private reading, a direct booking with me about your love life, romantically speaking, there will be more accurate readings and we can go deeper into it. I know that this is already a very deep reading, but still, I know that you are resonating with it. So it would mean the world to me if you can make that energy exchange of considering tipping me for this reading, consider subscribing to this channel possibly, or even booking a private session with me where I can guide you into the full true alignment of who you're meant to be with. Because I see already that you have done the internal work, and that was a real hunch for you. That was a real mountain to climb, but you've already done it. And the worst is over, Pile 2. The worst is over. Like, you're already looking at your future. You're looking towards the best. You're looking towards the better. You're looking towards the next step. You're looking at, okay, now I'm ready to go online again. Now I'm ready to go back on social media again after an emotional, spiritual sabbatical. Now I'm available and wanting to explore the world. Now I'm ready to take some small steps towards maybe booking a trip or booking a holiday. Now these are small steps, but in the eyes of God, these are big steps because you've already made the biggest step. So 2, 2, and 2 here. So 222 is definitely a number numerologically that you're seeing. And number 222 is divine integration in love, in unconditional love. And you are actually bringing someone in to that energy, which is divinely guided. When we see 22 or just number 2, and then it's amplified with a 222 or 2222, that's major balance, major harmony, major Venusian energy. Venus energy matches the Mars energy. Remember the yin and the yang. And it's the energy of unconditional love, romantic alignment, true love. We have the 5 of Swords. Losses, all is not lost, as you still have 3 swords remaining, giving you the upper hand. Mm-hmm. Hey, doggy. So what I'm seeing here is that you, Pile 2, are not allowing people to see what you have been up to. So you're online and maybe you have a private account. It's one of those things, you know, you can be savvy with how you distribute your energy. And I think that you are very much in alignment with that message. You are understanding that you can be a witness on social media, but not necessarily interact with the noise. Because remember, you're also being gentle on yourself at this time, Pile 2. We also have 6 of swords, essentially. So we have 5 swords here and an ace of swords here, which makes it a 6, which is telling me, with the energy that I was channeling earlier at the very beginning of your reading, that you have moved away from something that was very difficult for you to move away from because there were negative patterns and cycles that had to be broken. And you moved away emotionally from an emotionally disturbing and difficult scenario. And the 6 of swords typically is someone who's on a boat with their partner and their children and moving on, essentially immigrating from their homeland, from their security, from their comfort. We have number 40 here. And the birds migrate, but they come back home. So you may have actually experienced that sort of trauma where you had actually, traveled, had to move, had to leave your place of sanctuary. Maybe this person felt like sanctuary to you, but now you found the sanctuary of God in the temple of your heart. Beautiful channeling, Spirit. And it was the hardest battle that you've conquered. And it was a win that no one else can see objectively. So I would say, if you permit me to say, that my guidance to you is to not leak your energy, to not share your experiences to people, because this is something between what I can see between you and me, but this is something sacred between you. I'm hearing that is holy and holy matrimony, okay, that is between you and God. And what God is preparing you is holy matrimony. And the holy matrimony started within you marrying and being devoted to God first. Big G, not small g. A higher power, higher knowledge, higher understanding, higher love. And so keep that private account. Wheel of Fortune, beautiful energy. We have an elevation shift here. We have an elevation of money, an elevation of status, an elevation of spirit, an ascension. We have overseas trip here, which is something that you're planning on doing at this time. You're planning on an overseas trip, an overseas journey. Where, I don't know, but I feel like it's over a body of water. Could be over a massive ocean, or could be a small lake or a pond, but it is a body of water. So in order to travel, you would most likely have to get on a plane or a boat or a ship. So it could be from one island to the next. So say, for example, like if you're in Sicily and you want to go to Pantelleria, in order to go to Pantelleria, you'd have to get on a boat. You can't land on Pantelleria even with a private plane that I'm aware of, or even a helicopter that I'm aware of. You'd have to get on a boat. So if you have seasickness, this is something that you'll be covered for that, because this is something you'll conquer. Okay. So I see that in terms of love, it's quite quiet at this time in terms of love for you. I do see that your luck is changing. Your fortune is changing in terms of love. I see that your father may be a pensioner, or you may have some sort of, well, there's something to do with codependence and your father here and being super self-reliant. But I see here that this person that you're attracting has the same sun sign or moon sign as your father, or same attributes. So this is someone who carries their heart on their sleeve, King of Cups here in the vitrine. Or this is someone who is very loyal with the dog there. I see that this is someone who you are attracting that is possibly older than you. Or if they're younger than you, they carry a very serious, I'm picking up on Capricorn energy, a very mature approach to life and their own experiences. This could also be a Taurus person, a Leo person, or an air sign, Aquarius. I just heard this person could be quite portly. So this is someone who may be quite stocky or quite built. This isn't someone who's necessarily fat or overweight. This is just how they're built is very Taurus. It's very solid. I just heard rhomboid, the rhomboid shape. So this is someone who has very, is heavily built. They could actually do heavy lifting as well. Now we have, let me move these out of the way. Now we have perdita di denaro, perdita de dinero. So this could be, maybe you come from a very wealthy family and stocks and investments didn't bode very well for your father, for example, and that's the family legacy. And now they're no longer of working age, and money is really tight. But you're waiting hopelessly romantically. What I'm picking up on is someone who is the main character in a Jane Austen, novel. We have enemy, nemico, or enemigo. We have faithfulness, affection, fidelità, attraccamento. Wait, hang on. Fidelità, attaccamento, lealdad, apego. So we have someone, again, who's very loyal. I feel like there's an energy about you where in the old days, people will call you a spinster, which is not very nice. But I feel like you are very holy. It's almost like, now forgive me for saying this, and it's not an insult, but it's almost like you carry this energy of sexlessness. So you don't carry the energy of sexual desire, and it's not to say you're not attractive. What I'm saying is there's something that you are very pure and virginal, and it's written in your energy that you don't care for sexual relationships, at least at this time. I'm also now feeling the energy of someone who could be a lesbian, so someone who you're not sure if they are attracted to females. So you may have had to hold this back from your father or your parents, particularly your father, where you couldn't be your full self to yourself, and therefore you've been compensating by working really hard, or being in relationships that just weren't your match, or being in opposite sexual relationships that just weren't you, in order to people please. I do see that it's like your father has been your main enemy in this lifetime. A sincere friend, amiga sincera. So I feel like you may actually be, Paltu, what I'm picking up on now, is you may be in love with a friend, a female friend, and you may have found it difficult to come out of the closet, which is, it's understandable, especially when you have all this pressure. There's like very conservative, old worldly beliefs about how women should be, how women should act, what women should do. Like, it's very patriarchal and very oppressive. And I see that you've removed yourself from the trap of self-bondage on the inside and energetically, spiritually, and now it's a question of you coming out of the physical closet and say, look, I'm actually a lesbian, and I've been in love with my best friend for 20 years. I'm hearing Fiona, the name Fiona is coming through. And I see that there is a mutual energetic attachment with this person, that they feel the same for you. So the answer is, to thine own self be true. I think both of you are very delicate. You're very feminine in your energy. It's not so much masculine femmes, it's more femmes. And I see that there may have been delays in this relationship or this coming together or this expression of love, an expression of selves to each other, but it is felt. Both of you feel it. For those of you who don't resonate with that, I see some of you may actually be a widow. So some of you may have lost your significant other through death. You may have also dealt with people who have been very argumentative about you and your relationship with the significant person who's left this physical vessel. I do see that you are not afraid to defend yourself, but I do see mainly women in this reading. So for those of you who are not lesbians or interested in, you don't have bi curiosity and you're heterosexual females, then this could be a reading where you've committed yourself to not wanting to be in a relationship ever again. It's like one of those things, like say for example Iman, the model, her greatest love was David Bowie, and she's not interested in, from what I can see, she's not interested in being with someone else. She's totally in love with her husband who passed away, and she's a widow. So it could be one of those where you've just given it up to God, you've released the idea of even needing to be with someone because you have settled the ghost within, so to speak. So I see here that for most of you who picked this reading, even if you are heterosexual or even if you are a lesbian or even are bi-curious, I see that you don't really care for wanting to be in a relationship at this time, romantically speaking. I want to get a few more cards just to see if there's some other energies here, because I'm picking up on quite a few people that picked this pile. So you've been working on your own self-confidence, maybe in coming out. Maybe you've been working on your money. There's been a waiting stage. There's been attesa. There's been you've been attesa. There's espera. Some money, un po' di denaro, un poco di dinero. Una bionda, una rubia, a blonde woman. Trappola, trampa, a trap. Regali, regalos, presents, and reconciliazione or reconciliation. So I see that maybe for some of you, you've had arguments, conflicts with a friend, or conflicts. I feel like it's conflict with a friend. This is not the breakup, makeup from your past relationship and coming back together and reconciling with them. This is more about forgiving and learning and reconciling from your past, reconciling and apologizing if you've actually done wrong and hurt another person. But I feel mainly this is reconciling with another friend. I feel like you are in your, how do I say, which era are you in? You're in your virginal era. But again, we have journey. So you're on a spiritual journey, and you may actually be planning on making a sacred journey to a sacred site, like Camino de San Compostela, for example, or La Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, or going to Lourdes, or going to Le Louvre, in Paris, the museum where you go and see, Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, La Gioconda. So this could be something where you're just focusing on self-love, self-nourishment, what fulfills you, and settling the ghost and healing with people from your past who maybe you're no longer in contact with, but you're forgiving and learning and moving on. I don't see a lot of you actually being interested in a romantic relationship at this time. But if you are, you're most likely lesbians or bi-curious and have been in love with a friend for a long time. So for those of you who are going to be willing to open up to your friend, then there will be success here, and I'm hearing success in marriage. So I actually do see you moving into marriage, like being married to this person. So don't stop doing what you're doing. Keep healing. Get more information. No, this is not the time to really be with anyone at this time. You're not quite ready just yet, for those of you who are straight or otherwise, to be physically intimate with another person. Remain positive about your life and about your love life, but keep doing the internal work. I'm hearing, keep doing the internal healing, purification. And then we have abundance and take action. So if anything, pile 2, this is about aligning your energy with spirit. If you are a person who really wants to be in a relationship, this is about, okay, it's got to be my direct alignment. It's got to be someone who I am not codependent with. This is someone who's a match, my yin to my yang to my yin, or nothing else. I'd rather just be single and a virgin, or a priestess, so that's kind of what I have for you, pile 2. I know it's been an unusual reading, but I pick up on these energies, and this is what happens. Each reading, each pile is different. If you like a private reading, you can go ahead and book directly with me, so I can go further into the energies that I'm picking up on. And if you'd like to listen to pile 1, you may find resonance there, or pile 3. In any case, I'll see you in the next reading. God bless, take care. Well done for doing all the work. Bye for now. Bye. Pile 3, welcome back to Alchemy Medicine. Welcome to your reading. So this is going to be what is next in love for you, pile 3. So pile 1 and pile 2 are very disparate energies, although there was something there between both of them. There was a message there. So I feel like, because I'm tuning into lots of different energies, there's lots of different messages for different people. Just remember, this is not a private session. This is a collective general reading. So for those of you who chose this pile, I see that you're journaling a lot. I see you writing a lot. I see you maybe writing and painting. Some of you could be on my sketchbook club, and you're getting ancient wisdom through unconsciously writing, unconsciously drawing, unconsciously painting, just automatism. And I see that it's working for you. There's some sort of change happening. I see that there's a DNA reconstruction here. I see that you've somehow tapped into something that has been laying dormant for quite some time with this lily. And I think it's your time now to shine, part 3. I see that this is your time now to, I'm hearing you've removed the obstacles and you have a clear path ahead of you. And it's not just a clear path, it's a whole expansive space in front of you, like this. It's not like this, a narrow passage. So I see that you are excited about life. You're excited about this new journey, this new venture. You're excited to spread the love, share the love. You're excited to receive it. You're excited to have started to open up your clairaudience, so you're able to hear messages from spirit now, and you're gaining wisdom that was activated from previous lifetimes, and also from the help of the divine mothers as well. Kuan Yin here with the lily, green Tara as well, possibly. But this rising from the muck, it's kind of giving me the energy of a phoenix rising, but it hasn't been as harsh. It's been more of an emotional, not roller coaster, an emotional pulling through from a slight dip in your mental health. And you were triggered briefly over a space of a month. and within 3 months you were able to get yourself out of that state of being or state of mind. So I'm seeing here, pile 3, what's next in love for you is adventure, is getting yourself out there. It's you excited. I'm picking up on excitement, and you're really wanting to experience new people. It's like you're documenting, like part of your life, or at least this time in your life, is you being an acolyte, so a spiritual student, a disciple of documenting the human condition through dating. So you're a scribe and you are a collector of knowledge. You're kind of, you could actually be writers or film writers or script writers or playwrights. And so you receive your information, your knowledge, your insights, your inspiration comes from observing other people and experiencing life. Yeah, you know, we have the Fool card coming up first in your reading. So definitely travel, definitely adventure, definitely excitement. You don't know where you're going. You just know that you're going there, but you don't know what it's going to look like. That's exactly what I was feeling. Sorry, I'm revealing all the cards. Let's just hang on. You're exactly, it's the energy of the Fool where you're just excited to go for it. You want to reveal the cards before you're ready. You're wanting to experience this new way of being before you've passed certain stages. So it's definitely the acolyte energy. It's definitely someone who I'm picking up on who's very excited and excitable, a bit like a waggy dog. A dog that's really excited to go on their walk but doesn't really know who they're going to meet, what kind of other dogs, what kind of smells they're going to encounter, experience. And I see for you, pile 3, that you have a lot of cards. So I'm seeing here the King of Wands, and the Chariot. You have so many cards, you have more cards than the other piles. So I'm seeing that you are a very magnanimous spirit, okay? You are a very magnanimous soul, a very magnanimous person. You're very generous, and you just want to spread the love, and you want to have fun, you want to enjoy. And I feel like you could be very multiple lover kind of person. You just experience life through other people, not through other people in a weird vampiric way. It's more that you experience the adventure of dating new people, experiencing new bodies and minds, and sharing quality time, and then you move on to the next person. Or I'm seeing lots of people, so I'm seeing polyamory a lot. For those of you that does not resonate with, this could be you having lived a life where you have experienced life in a monogamous relationship, and for you found it very boring, and so you want to have a great change. Number 5 here is about great change, and so you're setting off on an adventure to have multiple relationships at the same time, all consenting, polyamorous relationships, or even you're wanting to date one person as a monogamous relationship or a monogamous connection, and then date another person in a monogamous connection, not at the same time. So it's like one after the other. But I'm picking up speed here. So there's this desire, there's this impatience I'm picking up on for you, part 3. And I see for you have good friends. You are a good friend. You're very sociable. I'm picking up on Sagittarius energy with their very flirtatious spirit. Their very non-committal energy as well. I'm picking up on that. I'm also seeing someone who is, you're needing to take a great leap forward, a great leap of faith forward. There's something within this era of your life where you're kind of throwing caution to the wind and just having fun. That is tapping into a past life of yours or some sort of timeline that is ancient. And it's because you are a scribe of, a documenter of, an experiencer of the human condition. Most likely you love Shakespeare, William Shakespeare. You love playwrights. You love fantasy, adventure, romance, escapism through writing, through reading, through plays, through the silver screen, you know. So I do see that. I'm picking up on actors, theatre people, thespians, la vanguardia. Yeah, people who are, that you have a joie de vivre, at least for right now in the time of this reading. Aries, very strong here. Maybe this is you having been in a really long relationship, in a marriage. I know that some of you have been, and you booked private readings with me, that just wasn't satisfactory in any single way, in any form, in the bedroom, in intellectual pursuits, in play, in fun, in, I don't know, travel. So you're wanting to be with someone who really matches that fire. With the King of Wands, that's a true fire flame there. Someone who's very sexually proud. They're very good in the bedroom. It's one of their expertise, if anything. And you want to be taught by them. You want to be an acolyte of their magic, you know, fiery magic. So we have the Four of Cups in the reverse. So this is a time where stagnation or stagnancy is not the word of the day. This is more about spontaneity, adventure, and I feel like, again, you're ripping yourself away from stagnation. You're itching, you're wriggling to go. You've had your passport in your hand for a while, and you're wanting to just go off on your adventure. And if that means you being on your own, so be it. If that means you making that divorce finite, then so be it. It's done, and you have zero regrets about it. You don't even care. You're leaving with a little sacchetto on your stick and a dog that is a symbol of your faith. So you're just leaving with a few items, peace in your heart, in your hand, in your left hand there. You no longer have a wedding ring, and it's replaced with peace, the lily there. Creativity, Archangel Gabriel energy coming in through. Joy, a feather here that is ignition of the spirit, ignition of the soul, an initiate, the acolyte, as I said, and loyalty, faith that you have in spirit and God. Beautiful energy. So yeah, this stagnation is not the word of the day, pile 3. You're letting go of burdens, you're letting go of things that weigh you down. You know, the earth is your playground, and however, anything that is stagnant, anyone that is stubborn, anyone that carries those energies of stagnation or boredom or routine, or I don't know, like, it's something that really irks you at this time. You're wanting to get yourself away from those energies, away from those people, away from the daily grind, away. Like, you're someone who, if you have been working in a bank for 14, 15 years, you are at this time where you're just wanting to take a sabbatical. You wanted to take a year off and go to Vietnam and Thailand and Jamaica, I'm hearing, and India and Sri Lanka, I'm hearing, and Colombia, I'm hearing, and Argentina, I'm hearing. I'm also hearing Deutschland and Germany. I'm hearing Iceland. I'm hearing Greenland. I'm hearing France, I'm hearing Belgium, I'm hearing England, I'm hearing particularly Scotland and Wales. So you just want to travel and experience the world, and you just want to get away from the humdrum. I'm hearing pile 3. We have the Empress here. Most likely you are women of a certain age where you are older, you're mature, you have done all of that. You know, you've built a foundation, you've built the solid ground, you've worked with the energy of earth, you've worked with the energy of creating a 4-squared home for yourself and your family, or you've created stability for yourself. You've most likely had children. If you haven't, you are at this age and time where you're most likely going to have children, or you're at this time that you're very fertile and creative, and you have a family around you that may involve animals and fruits and crops and, you know, multiple homes even. If this resonates for you, please put 333 in the comments down below. Put 333 in the comments down below. And I see that with this Taurus energy and Libra energy, you are an expert with the element of earth. But with those energies, it's all about pleasure, because Taurus and Libra is about pleasure and luxury and sensuality and high living. So, for example, you go on an adventure, but you actually go on an adventure in a yacht, on a yacht. You go on an adventure going to India, and I'm hearing also Morocco, I'm hearing Uzbekistan, where you go there on trips in order to buy particular textiles, tapestries, silks, beads, jewels, crystals, semi-precious stones, in order to create amazing jewelry, amazing interiors, amazing things for your estate, or just even for your own eyes that make you very, very happy. This is also makeup. Some of you most likely are writers, you work in film, you are actors, you are artists. You're mainly writers, actors, playwrights. You could work as a makeup artist, as costume designers, as fashion designers, and those adventures are integral to your inspiration and your projects. And I see a lot of you are very excited about doing this on alone or go on a girls' trip, I'm hearing. You are gushing with so much sensual energy. You are so ripe, you know, you're so ripe with fertility, with fertile energy. You are also attracting a lot of admirers, by the way. I don't know whether you necessarily see it. And it's because you are going for, you haven't experienced this just yet, you're just about to embark on an era that is dealing mainly with you, yourself and you. Me, myself and I energy. So because you're not having a care in the world about other people, on other significant others, or relationships, or even your significant partner, a husband, an emperor to your empress, you are actually most attractive because you're doing what you love. Now, who I'm picking up on now is the actress Jolie Richardson. So Jolie Richardson is a drop-dead gorgeous English actress, and she comes from a legacy of actors. And she's an older, mature woman now. She's aging, and she's aging so beautifully, and it's so lovely to see a woman who has facial gestures that she has expressed in her life through acting. So I'm talking about wrinkles, you know, I'm talking about maybe even stretch marks. And she's so beautiful. There's something about her, she has so much spark and sensuality at her age, and as she continues to age, as she continues to mature, as she continues to get older, she is someone who definitely gives me Taurus Libra energy. I wouldn't be surprised if she is actually Taurus or Libra dominant. So she has Venus as her main sign, or has it in the moon, or has Cancer in her moon, or something like that. She gives me very Taurus energy. So you could be someone like that, who you have a very prominent nose, a very prominent feature, that is kind of doggish, and it's not in a horrible negative way. You know, we look like animals. All human beings look like an animal. You know, we may look like a cat, we may look like a pig, we may look like a dog, we may look like a wolf, we may look like a lion, we may look like a camel, we may look like a giraffe, an alligator, a rabbit, a frog. it's all part of Ayurveda as well. And those are characteristics that are integrated within the soul imprint. And it's another way of reading, it's another way of divination. So I'm seeing here, pile 3, that you are very loyal, you're very faithful as a person. Even if you are in non-monogamous relationships and polyamorous relationships, you're very loyal to the person that you're with. And I think, and you're happy with that, and you have a sense of freedom within that. But the other person may be feeling kind of jolted or upset because they want more from you. They want to be in your energy more. You know, when you're with someone and they give you their full undivided attention, you are that person, and you make them feel like their whole, you know, you're part of their whole world, or they are part of your whole world. Even if it's for an instance or 5 or 20 minutes, you see people, you see their soul, pile 3. And you're very playful, you're very, very vulnerable, and you're very, very Taurian. I'm picking up on Taurus very strongly. You're very sensual. You have no fear about your sexuality and sharing it, because you're so in touch with that. You know, you're so in touch with your sensuality. So pile 3, we have the High Priest, the Hierophant. Most likely you are married. So I'm picking up on multiple energies, so bear with me. You're married with someone, you're happy in your marriage, okay? But you're wanting a bit of an adventure in your marriage. And so you consent, and you have consenting an arrangement to be with other people within your marriage, okay? Or you're married and you are so done with being married to your person because they don't fulfill you in the way that you want. So you're not excited, you're not passionate about life with them. They want to stay at home while you want to travel the world. Like, that is very difficult to navigate, you know? And it's not even opposites attract. You've never been a good match, okay? And so you're wanting to extricate yourself from that relationship completely and just go on this year-long trip on your own, and then come back a year later and then finalize a divorce. Like, you can't even bear to see this person. You don't want to smell them. You don't want to be close to them. You don't want to kiss them. You don't want to hug them. You respect them by the fact that they are the father, most likely the parent of your child or children. And they're very good at that. I will say they're very good at that. But they suck at being a partner for you, but they may be great for someone else. Another message I'm picking up on is that you could be wanting to be with someone who is adventurous, is excited, is excitable, kind of has a bit of a nervous energy. So they could have Aquarius in their chart. So that's what I'm seeing, pile 3, is that you are wanting change in a big way. And it's tapping into something from another lifetime or a timeline where, okay, you've done your deed, you've done your mission, and now you're on to another deed, another mission, a new adventure. A new adventure has been calling and beckoning. Another message is for some of you who don't resonate with that, are wanting to be more adventurous while being single and meeting, just having dates with people and just having adventures with them and other people. And another message is that you're having polyamorous connections that are all consenting, okay? So if this resonates, put 333 in the comments. So we have the 9 of Wands, the 7 of Coins, and the Queen of Pentacles. Most likely you are married or you've been married. You're happy with your status. If anything, you're very happy with your status. But I do see that there is very Taurus energy here, Capricorn, Virgo energy here, where you are older. You could have dark green eyes or dark eyes, dark hair, darker complexion. You may have had a very professional or business domineering career, or you may be in that career at this time and you love it, you enjoy it, and it most likely deals with beauty, fashion, textiles, homes. You've had children, you've had multiple children, or a child, and you're into investment, and now you're wanting something more. You know, you're kind of bored, you need excitement. Okay, so let's have a look and see now. Spirit says, have a little bit of patience. You know, I know you're excited, but have a little bit of patience. I feel like, you know, you're ready for the next stage. We have La Victoria, Triunfo. We have absence, ausencia. So you may be mourning. You could even be very sad or have dealt with an experience that was very saddening. And now you've come out of the other end of it, and you've found freedom in victory. I do see that you are of a very high status here. You make people quarrel over you. That there are people that compete for your attention. They vie for your attention. You've been waiting to have another great love in your life. I do see a lot of you are older, and you're having a new stage in your life where you're wanting a new adventure. And it's been a bit boring, it's been a bit stagnant, and now you're excited about a new adventure, romantically speaking. I see that someone could be visiting you, or you could be receiving a call or an invitation from someone who is very gentle. They're very sweet, they're very kind. This person could be a mutual contact or mutual family friend. This is someone who matches your age and frequency and status. This is also someone who, underlying all of it, they're very passionate. They're also still very virile, even in their older years. But in any case, this is someone who is a leader, someone who is a self-made person. They've worked very hard for their business, for their status. I don't think this is someone who comes from money. If anything, they are the first in their generation to have built a very strong empire on their own, to their own merits. And I see that this is someone who's very protective. You most likely have booked a reading with me, with the consultant, la consulente or la consultante. So I do see that you have been grieving, you've been waiting for your family to come back, or you've been waiting and wanting a great love. This person may have served in the military. You may have dark hair. Again, this is reflected back from the other card that we had with the Queen of Pentacles. You most likely have had children who are very stable, reliable, and this person is very noble. This is someone who is like un hidalgo, you know, noblesse oblige. So this is someone who is very aristocratic, very well educated, very well mannered, very gentle. They're a gentleman, you're a gentlewoman, or they are a gentlewoman, you're a gentleman, or you're both gentlewomen. This is the energy of someone who is very well put together. And I see here with the Queen of Pentacles and the vitrine, they have been keeping an eye on you for quite some time. They see you as someone who they would love to be with. And not just sensually. This is someone who feels like you could be a great match to be with long term, and not just for a short journey, I'm hearing. Now, I'm also seeing a captain. So this could be you meeting the captain of a ship and you end up dating each other. And actually, that's your next husband. Interesting. So you're wanting all this adventure and like sleeping around essentially and all consenting and this, that and the other. But then what actually ends up happening is you meet one person and you end up being with that person until your dying age. So I'm seeing here, there's been a delay. There's been quite a few delays in the collective, in all of the piles. And I think it's for a reason. The timing was off. The timing wasn't right. So I'm seeing that this person is quite slim built. This person, there's a variety actually. This person could be slim built. They're very competitive. When they want something, they go for it. That's the queen. That's the King of Wands. They most likely have red or brown hair. They may have mid-length hair. They may have a slightly darker complexion to their race, culture, creed. Even their creed could be slightly different from yours. Their religion or culture could be slightly different from yours. But there's a match here. There's a match here. There's a there's a match. Again, I feel like you are a script writer. You love to write, you love to read, you love to document, you love to research. You may even be musicians. There's something about this person, nothing in their life has caught them off guard, and you have to them. You've caught this person off guard. Let's see, we have perdita di denaro, amica sincera, successo, and giocatori. They're placing their bets on you, pile 3. There's a female friend who's going to introduce you to someone. This person is going to invite you to an event and you're going to go to it, and you end up actually having a really good chemistry with this person. Great success. This person is also a great reader. They carry a red book or red journal. They have a red journal. I'm seeing they're very old-fashioned. They are also very successful, very well known, as I mentioned earlier, with the King of Wands. And they may actually be very good at gambling. So I don't think this person has ever really lost a lot of money. If anything, they have a very good hand at gambling. Very, very good hand. I don't know how they do it. It's all honourable. There's nothing underhand here. It's all honourable. They're very good. There's gossip around, there's chatter around that this person is very good at gambling. They always win. This is someone who in life always win. They are a winner. They are not a loser. Pile 3. I want to get some more information for you, pile 3. We have sorpresa. Yeah, we have sorpresa, un po' di denaro, scampagnata, escursión, trip to the country. With very little, this person has made a real empire for themselves, as I mentioned earlier, King of Wands. This is someone who's very admired. They're very respected. They are a protector. These cards are coming out again. They're very competitive. They know exactly what they want. They go for it. They're very driven. But on the inside, in intimate settings, when they're in love with someone, they are someone who loves to spend quality time. They have service. Their love languages of act of service and gift giving, which you're going to love with their Taurus energy. And then we have matrimonio. Remember how I said that? So the next person that you actually meet ends up being someone who is very significant in your life, where you actually have a marriage contract with this person. And that's the irony. That's the fun. That's the the hilarity of God is. You want to go on this crazy sensual adventure and you end up meeting someone, you end up falling in love with them. So expect yourself to actually be with someone for the long term, someone who's going to really nurture you, nourish you with a temperance card, someone who is going to fill your cup. This is an equal match, pile 3. And I could be in this energy for a while because it's not exactly what you want or expect, but then you end up wanting it and you would expect nothing more. You'd expect nothing less than this, because ultimately, after all of that, wanting the adventure and excitement in life, you actually end up getting someone who's very stable and a match, who's very adventurous. but you do have a wild side, and so do they, and that's really why you end up meeting this person. I love that energy. So pile 3, that's what I have for you. I really do hope you've enjoyed this reading. You can book directly with me for a private session, a private reading, to go deeper and more direct and more accurate with your particular love situation, whatever it may be. If you'd like to tip me as an energy exchange and to say thank you for this reading, I'd really appreciate it. If you'd like to book Sketchbook Club with me, it happens once every last Sunday of the month. I have 2 membership tiers where you can book for the whole year and you don't have to worry about paying each month. And you get recorded sessions if you're not able to physically turn up at the time of the particular Sketchbook Club. That's all I have for you. Pile 3, loving you, leaving you. Listen to pile 1 and pile 2 if you feel called to, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Bye.